Have you ever stopped and wondered where that beat, the one that powers basically all your favorite songs, actually came from? Well, we're about to pull back the curtain and uncover the secret origin story of the sound that completely took over the world. This is how it all started.
No, seriously, think about it for a sec. The music in your favorite game, that viral dance challenge that is all over your feed, and those absolutely massive festivals you see online, what's the one thing that connects all of them? I mean, it seems totally random, but there's actually a single thread tying everything together.
You guessed it. It's a simple, powerful electronic beat. That's the engine driving all of it. And today, we're going to find out exactly where that engine was built and, more importantly, who turned the key for the very first time.
To get there, we got to jump in a time machine and go way back to the late 1970s. Now, this was a moment long before the giant festivals and the superstar DJs we know today. It was a time when just a few creative pioneers started messing around, trading in their guitars and drum kits for something totally new.
Yeah, the new rock band wasn't made of people. It was made of these kind of futuristic-looking boxes. You had synthesizers that could cook up sounds nobody had ever heard before. Drum machines that could lay down these perfect, non-stop rhythms. Sequencers to loop those ideas into hypnotic grooves. And of course, turntables to mash it all together. This was the gear that launched a revolution.
And you know what? This whole revolution didn't start in some fancy, big-name recording studio. Nope. It kicked off in the underground clubs of two American cities, Chicago and Detroit. And what's cool is that each city developed its own unique style, creating this friendly rivalry that would end up defining electronic music forever.
So what's the actual difference? Okay, think of it like this. Chicago's house music, it felt warm and soulful, kind of like a great party with all your friends. It had vocals, catchy melodies. You can really hear the disco and funk inspiration in there. But Detroit's techno, that was a whole different beast. It was colder, more mechanical, and just sounded futuristic. The inspiration there came from things like sci-fi movies and the industrial sounds of the city's car factories.
Let's break that down even more. House music coming out of Chicago was generally a little bit slower. It focused on things like piano and vocals to create this really inviting, soulful vibe. Techno from Detroit was faster. It was all about distorted synths and these clanging, metallic percussion sounds that created a powerful, forward-looking energy. So you have two cities, two very different feelings, but both were born from the exact same technology.
So how exactly did they make these sounds? Well, they used a few key techniques and pieces of gear that were like their secret weapons for making people want to dance.
So, the first secret weapon is something called the four-on-the-floor beat. Honestly, it is the heartbeat of pretty much all dance music. It's just a super steady bass drum on every single beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've ever heard someone say boots and cats to describe a beat, that's exactly what this is. It's a simple, powerful rhythm that your brain just instantly gets, and it makes you want to move. And the machine they use for that beat? The legendary Roland TR-808. And here's the wild part. That drum machine was a total flop when it first came out. Why? 'Cause it didn't sound like real drums. But that's exactly why the producers in Chicago and Detroit absolutely loved it. Its fake, super deep electronic bass drum was the perfect foundation for this brand new sound.
Okay, so what about the melodies and all those weird noises? Well, for that, they used synthesizers. The best way to think about a synth is to imagine the character creator in a video game. Seriously. You start with a really basic shape, in this case a simple sound wave, and then you just start tweaking all the knobs and faders to design a sound that is completely and totally unique to you. It's all about sound design.
Okay, so you have all these amazing new tracks being made, but who played them for everybody? This is where a brand new kind of artist became the star of the show, the DJ.
Now, a DJ's job is so much more than just hitting play. First, they have to select the perfect track for the energy in the room. Then, they use two turntables to beat match. That's a fancy word for getting the speed of two different records to be exactly the same. Finally, they mix them together so smoothly that there's never any silence on the dance floor. And what's the goal? To create one continuous, epic journey of music that lasts all night long. This new sound in this new culture, it was just so powerful. It couldn't stay in only two cities for long. It was definitely ready to take over the entire world. And the explosion happened fast. It all started in these gritty warehouses in the early 80s. By the late 80s, it had hopped across the ocean to the UK, sparking this huge cultural movement they called the Second Summer of Love.
Then in the 90s, after the Berlin Wall fell, all these abandoned buildings in the city were turned into legendary techno clubs. And today, well, you can find massive electronic music festivals on every single continent. It's everywhere.
But here's something that is absolutely crucial to understand. These were always more than just parties. They were communities. They were safe spaces where absolutely everyone was welcome, built on a culture of inclusion and respect for each other on the dance floor. The community, that was just as important as the music itself.
So let's bring it all home. What started with just a handful of affordable machines and some incredibly creative minds in Chicago and Detroit, well, it grew into a global language, one that's spoken on dance floors all over the world.
If you take away only one thing, let it be this. Technology gave a new generation a powerful new voice. It let them create something amazing from practically nothing and make music with one single purpose: to bring people from all walks of life together. Think about it. The same tools they used, drum machines, synthesizers, those are literally apps you can get on your phone or computer right now. The technology that started a global movement is right at your fingertips. So really, the only question left is, what sound are you going to create next?